What's up, my PT peeps? Brian back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 3 through 5 news. Spoilers ahead if you don't want to know any of this information about the Season 7, Episodes 3 through 5. Stop watching now. Spoilers ahead, and here we go. So basically, we got some information about Episodes 3 through 5, and Episode 3 is this Sunday, entitled The Cell, and it'll give us our first taste of the Sanctuary. With the new community comes more new faces. Here's a rundown of a few new characters we will meet along with the actors who will play them. Dr. Emmett Carson, played by Tim Parati. His name might sound familiar. Emmett is Harlan Carson's from Hilltop's brother. He also happens to be a doctor. Joey, played by Joshua Hoover, is his savior. And here's the picture right here. So basically, the four people that we're going to meet is Dr. Emmett Carson, Joey, Gordon, and Laura. Probably a mixture of other people, but these are before that we'll highlight a little bit in the episode. There'll be a little more about them, but that's crazy. Dr. Carson has a brother that they probably took from the Hilltop and said, we need the doctor. So that freaking sucks for the Carson family. But if you don't know, that's the other Dr. Carson, who is the baby doctor for Maggie and Glenn. Now just Maggie, but basically we'll see how that unfolds. We'll see a little story for that too. You know, Daryl's going to be a broken man. We talked about the promo breakdown of, if you want to check out more of that, check out that video. But Daryl's going to be broken down, man. It's going to be tough to watch Daryl being in such a tough place. Now, Laura, played by Elizabeth Ludlow, she's a savior involved in the car chase scene that happens in the upcoming episode. And Gordon, played by Michael Scalabala, I don't know how to say that name, but either way, he's a savior who runs away from the sanctuary. So it's basically just a random savior going out, and Dwight's forced to go get him. He's probably told by Negan to go get this guy or whatever. We'll see how it unfolds in the episode. I can't wait. So it's nobody that we know, that guy, and that is her right there, Laura. We'll see how she unfolds there too. Is she good? Is she bad? Is she a pain in the butt? But we'll see. The truck scene, it should be a pretty good car chase scene. I know they talked about it on when they were filming it over the summer, and it was. We'll see how it gets done. But for some reason, they want to go after this savior for some reason. Why did they just let him go if he's that much of a hassle? But basically, Season 7, Episode 4 is entitled Service. The synopsis is the remaining members of the group try to keep it together. In Alexandria, they receive a sobering visit. That's when Negan comes to Alexandria. The episode also looks to be 25 minutes longer, so we'll see how much episode we actually get. Negan goes to Alexandria. That's what the episode's about. It's going to be crazy to think about it as Negan come to Alexandria and, you know, knock it on the gate and then just being a freaking dick. And I think it's going to be kind of, I don't know, disconcerting to see how it gets played out. But you see Rick, he knocks on the gate, and, you know, because they come in 1 week after they kill the victims. So we'll see how it plays out with Rick. And Eugene looks scared. He definitely is still beaten up and bruised and mentally broken down as well. This is the episode where, for some reason, Negan makes Rick hold Lucille. And that was the early report over the summer, and we'll see how it plays out, but it gets to mess with them a little bit more. They're definitely setting up the Spencer thing. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know the comics, look how much Spencer is kind of focused on there, too. He's right there with Rick, and Rick's face is terrible. It's broken down, man. He's just beaten down. And look, they show Rosita, who's there? Spencer again. So they're definitely setting up. If you know the comics, you know what I'm talking about. And I believe it's going to probably happen either in episode 8 or 9 is what the early reports are too. So we'll see if it happens, and it should be. And hopefully it does, because I would love to see that happen. Rick's talking to the group in the church. This is probably after they come, or maybe even before they come, before that Negan runs things now. Rick's not the one in charge. You know, it's Negan. And Rick's broken down, man. If you see the pictures, he's freaking just, you know, it's great acting by Andrew Lincoln, but it's just different Rick. When this in the trailer happens, you see that Negan is with Olivia, and there's reports that Olivia's going to die at some point, but I don't know. I believe it when I see it. But if you see this angle, it's kind of interesting to see the angle of how they shot it, because that looks like prison bars to me. And if you know the comic, you know there's a big thing with this guy and prison bars. So we'll see. I don't know if it's this episode 4 or episode 5 that Enid goes to Hilltop, but she's going to Hilltop at some point. I don't know if it's 4 or 5. We'll see. Episode 5 is Go-Getters. Settled with grief and surrounded by enemies, members of the group try to find safety at the Hilltop before it's too late. So we gotta wait to episode 5 to see Maggie and Sasha at the Hilltop. That's, I believe, who goes there besides Jesus, of course. Surrounded by enemies, is that this? I would assume this is when this whole group of saviors with Simon goes to the hilltop, and they probably have a problem and a conflict to see what's going on. Is that when this shit happens? This stuff hits the fan? I would think so, because, you know, when is this going to happen? This was in the trailer of San Diego Comic-Con, so it's definitely the first part of the Season 7 filming. Gregory, you know, whatever, Xander Berkeley, he was at Walker Stalker this past weekend. We'll see how it unfolds, but, you know, Jesus kicking ass, kicking up some walkers, taking them out. You know, we'll see how it unfolds, but that's what I think happens. You know, the saviors come, conflict arises, they tear up the hilltop, and, you know, walkers get in. So these are just some great pictures of Walker Stalker Atlanta 2016. Jeffrey Dean Morgan hams it up, man. He does a great job with the kids and everything too. It's pretty cool to see the scene from episode 1. I just love this picture of Carl attacking Negan. Look at Jeffrey Dean Morgan's face. It's just pretty funny how they are. You know, rest in peace, Glenn and Abe. This is a great picture right here, too. Cecil Grimes. If you don't know Cecil Grimes, he's there with Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, and Michael Rucker, Merle Dixon. And Cecil's awesome. I met him a bunch of times. Was talking actually at the convention. I love this picture of baby Eugene. The next one's even better. Eugene hams it up. Baby Eugene. It's pretty awesome. I love the connection between these two. I saw baby Eugene at Orlando last year. I just love this picture. It's from Josh McDermott's Instagram. Definitely at Josh McDermott. Give him a follow on there too. He does some hilarious stuff. And if you haven't seen the panels already, it's part 1 through part 5, and it's cool. It's good audio, pretty good video. I mean, it's a little shaky in the camera because I did continuous on it, but it's awesome. It's a very good panel of Rick and Daryl just having a great time goofing around. They're just hilarious. It's them just freaking having a great time and just enjoying being on the show and just being friends. And I love this picture here too, because Josh McDermott, Eugene, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan Negan crashed, and that's in part 3. I don't want to give it away, so definitely check it out, part 3 of the panel. So there you go, guys. Like, share, subscribe to get more videos. You guys are awesome, and thank you for watching.